Okay, so good morning, everyone. So for today, we're going to have a discussions of a capstone project and presentation, and most commonly, of course, focus also on how you'll be able to do a strategic marketing plan. Okay, so experience-based learning is an integral component of the marketing program. No, through a capstone project, no, student partner with an organizations to problem solve a real world business issue the company is facing. So student then provide recommendations, no, to improve the organization's overall marketing strategy and execution. Uh, in crafting your capstone project, or as I mentioned earlier, the the strategic marketing plan. No, uh, there are certain framework, no, that we need to consider, no, because marketing strategic frameworks, no, or models are tools that help you plan, no, execute and evaluate your marketing activities, and they can help you clarify your goals, no, identify your target audience, analyze your competitive advantage, and choose the best tactics and channels to reach your customers. And to give us more details about the topic, let us all welcome our presenters. Go ahead.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. Yeah, welcome to our presentation today. So, by the way, I just want to let you know that we already uploaded our pre-recorded video and a narrative one in the share drive. So if you guys can't find it, let us know. Maybe I did something wrong when I uploaded it, but it's in there. But again, welcome to our presentation. So Mr. Guzman and I are the presenter in the Capstone project. So we have a few things to talk about today. So we'll go ahead and talk about, or I mean, we'll go ahead and define what the Capstone project is and why is it important and how are we going to do it as well. And we'll also talk about how to develop an effective marketing strategy. And Mr. Guzman will talk about, he will help us understand as well the purpose of the presentation and how is it related to the Capstone project. And we'll also discuss the benefits of using peer evaluations. And those are the things that we're going to talk about today. But before we truly dive into what the Capstone project is, does anyone of you heard the Capstone project before, or did the, did you guys did a Capstone project before? I just want to get an idea. So I know if everybody familiar with it, or we're just really starting from scratch in terms of how you guys gonna do a capstone project. I don't know if I'm seeing everybody raising the hand, so I will probably take that as a no. The reason why I asked that question as well, because even myself, I guess I never really heard of it before, or probably I did, but I never really pay attention to it that much. So sabi ko, la, ba't gano'n nauna yung module din, no? Anong meron? Until I did a research and I understand, okay. So dapat talaga mauna yung ano, no? Yung, yung module 10 para hindi tayo magulat sa huli. So that we can focus every meeting so that we understand every discussion and make sure that we're learning every meeting, so that would really help us at the end of the course by doing this capstone project at the end. So now that I do have a quite knowledge about what the capstone project is, let me go ahead and help you understand what the capstone project is. So capstone project is the final project towards the end of our program, which is the marketing management, wherein we apply our learning. So whatever we've learned in the course and we do some research, then we graduate from learning the knowledge into creating the knowledge, which is what really people expect from us when we really join the industry. So for us as a student, so the capstone project is really the last step in completing the course. And I think again the reason why Sir Abante wanted us to really discuss this as early as now, because he want us to prepare so that we don't really get shocked about what we're going to do at the end of the course. And again, this is where we take everything that we've learned during the course and we put it into practice by doing like analysis of the business topic or questions. So the question there that I have in mind when I do a research, what is the Capstone project? So my question to myself, I would probably just gonna ask this as well. So Jamari, what is Capstone project? Is that like a research or what? Is like a long report? So basically Capstone project really answers strategic real world business questions. So what we do is we come up with a practical and creative solution to an actual problem experience in the real world of a business. For example, um, so let's say in your company, um, let's say you're in a company, you're employed, or maybe you guys own a business. So what you do is we go to that business and we learn everything about that business. Then we apply the knowledge that we've learned in the course. Maybe the thing that we learn, it's all about marketing strategy, right? And what we would do is that we give the company a strategic plan that maybe stays in the next 3 to 5 years. And those are the steps that they need to make so that the company can perform better on on their organization. It could also be economics, or it could be also internal with their HR. No, so one of the other example that I found is just to kind of give everybody an idea as well. Um, there's a research of these are IT people, and what they did is that the problem that the companies have an issue is the healthcare app. So it's their IT, like I think their computer science. I just can't recall the name of it. So there's a healthcare app for senior citizens. That's the problem that the companies having an issue with. So our senior citizen can't really use the app anymore because they're really struggling into opening it and signing in and logging in, and there's a lot of issues going on in the app, right? So what they did, they actually promote um, what it is to fix that problem. They recommend something, which is every time that the senior citizens log into the app, they don't need to log back in. So it's automatically log in your account, right? So example in Messenger, the buy in Messenger, once we open the app, it's automatically log in our account. We see all the conversations in there, right? But in healthcare app, sometimes there's a healthcare app that it's automatically log you in a certain time, right? And here, what they recommend or what they propose is that when our senior citizens log into that app, they make sure that those old people don't really log out, so it's automatically logged in. At the same time, what they did is binawasan nila yung mga tabs na maraming subsections para hindi na din nalilito yung mga senior citizen. If you like open up your Facebook, by example, if you go to menu and you would see a lot of tabs in there. There's another marketplace, save, video, or there is a help and support, there's the settings and privacy, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of things in there, right? So what they did as well on the healthcare app for senior citizen, they just binawasan lang nila yung mga unnecessary tabs that our senior citizens can open. So like example, um, this is where you see your payments and so on and so forth like that. So that's one of the example as well. One of the other example as well for that is let's talk about in real business and marketing, no? So let's talk about customer service. Compare and suggest customer strategies for customer retention. So the plan is to really create a positive experience that keeps our customer coming back to the product or the service. So let's say what we found out when we did our research, we found out na yung mga tauhan pala, no, they're so bagal in terms of um, assisting our customers. So I'm gonna give an example, no, Petron. So here I am again, no, giving an example of Petron. So example, yung Petron, yung customer service ng mga, let's say, pump attendant, no, sobrang bagal in terms of the service. So we would have to understand first, no, bakit nga ba hindi bumabalik yung mga karamihang customer? So we as a marketer, we really have to come up with the strategies right away, and we need to understand what's really the problem, what's going on. Maybe these service masters or maybe these um, pump attendant really don't know about driveway process, right? Maybe pagpapasok yung yung kotse, make sure that they greet like magandang tanghali sir, gasolina po or windshield po ba tayo, sir? So those are the things that we also need to understand when we do a capstone project. We need to understand what's really the real problem that the organization or the company that will choose. So that we can come up with, the solution. Maybe that example, the problem is really the lack of training, or maybe that's why medyo mabagal yung customer service of our people. So yep, I think that's the capstone project. And do you guys have any questions on the capstone project?
Yeah, no.
Okay, perfect. And now that we understand what the capstone project is, but before that, sorry, I must forget about it. So what's the difference between the capstone project and the thesis? Because when I did a research as well, they're looking into it, no, na ano nga bang pinagkaiba ng dalawa? If it seems like it's same thing. It's like a research and so a capstone project, it's really intended to really demonstrate and also apply what you've learned in the course and use your um you know creative thing to put comprehensive analysis of the real life problem. Again, so the capstone project really talks about strategic problem. So whatever problem that the organization's having, well, the thesis, it's really takes more on what do you call that? Academic approach, right? So requiring student to really contribute to a new knowledge to the field. One of the example of the thesis, diba? So we always do something different in terms of thesis. No, we really promote things. For example, I remember when I was in college, what I did for my thesis is the churros. If you guys familiar with churros, so back in 2018, they only have the flavor of chocolate, um, chocolate churros. So what I did for my thesis, it's what I did. I can't recall, but what I did, it's a healthy churros. So I did actually the malunggay churros. So that's something that I promote. That's a new ideas for the company to really decide if they want to have a new churros flavors, diba? So those are the things that we do in terms of TCs, right? We really give a new idea or a new concept to get that to maybe it's a boom of their company, while really the capstone project's really answering some strategic problems that we have that might be having. That's pretty much it that I have I know about capstone project. And now again we understand that what the capstone project is. Let's go ahead and jump onto the capstone um component. So there is the Capstone project component, but I know everybody's familiar with it already, right? So when we did our research when we were in college, we know exactly what are the formats in terms of the research. So we do have abstract, introductions, literature, methodology, findings, and recommendations. So of course in a Capstone project, we do these things as well. So we make sure that we have introductions, we do have recommendations, but we'll talk about it as well one by one. So the the abstract, so we all know the abstract in this section, there will be details about the purpose of the project and what specific research will be asked. So it's also, we will also give brief explanations of how the research finding were collected, even validated, and what conclusions were drawn. Well, introduction, so we all familiar with it. So it's not really the summary of the paper. So we totally do not discuss the outcomes here. So this is entirely just the introductions of the context, the problem, and the method that we're using. And introductions, we always use the attention grabber. If you guys familiar with it, the attention grabber is exactly what it sounds like. It grabs the reader's attention. Maybe it's a question about your research, right? Example, what will happen if there were no advertising in the world? Or maybe it's about career. Um what if there were no teachers in the world, right? So I think that's something that grabs reader attentions, right? So even myself, when I really read, I want something that really catch my attention, right? Because we don't really just read a dull statement from the start. We want to make sure that really interests us, right? So for literature review, this section puts really a detailed and like comprehensive analysis of the research and also like relevant to the research as well. So within this section, this is the evidence found in the research. So like, for example, the books or a research article, maybe you found out information that's really vital to succeed into what you're trying to accomplish, then you put it in a literature review. And methodology, we all know what method. So this is kind of like the materials we would use to collect and analyze the data. So when we are in college, again, I'm gonna go back in college. So when we are in college, we always use the survey, right? So to come up and to collect the data, maybe in this particular, place whose people are not familiar with the marketing and so on and so forth. And finding, so the finding, it's really the explanations. Oops, my bad. So findings is the explanation of the statistical and analytical analysis. So again, in this section, it will tell the readers the result of your research. So what the data says, right? So you would also tell your interpretation now. So example, um in the churros that I did the last time, so there is already, so only few people lang pala no are using or eating churros, then because it's not really healthy, then you found out that it's really good idea that they come up with this new healthy churros. Maybe it would really increase their sales, right? So you put it in there in findings, what interpretations or what you find out. And the recommendation is the discussion, of course, and what's really the answer to your questions, right? You base that on your introduction section as well, and your recommendation, of course, that's something that we want to put in actions as well in terms of what we can recommend to the company that we have. All right, but I think on the components of the Capstone project, it's because there are a lot actually when I did a research in terms of the Capstone project, there are different components. Still depends on the professor on what really the components they want to follow. So it's some, other, they put abstract, they put introductions, they don't put methodology anymore, so they put findings and recommendations. So it's still going to be depends on how our professor want us to do their capstone project, but this is just kind of baseline, what are the components of the capstone project. All right, so now that we understand again the capstone project and the components, let's talk about how is it important to us as a student, the capstone project, and what can we really get from this, right? So why is it important? So first thing is development of research and analytical skills. Being able to reason well and define and 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 research, diba, we often require to communicate and really find the what I mean is that when we do our research, sometimes we do our reports or presentation. It's like it's also improving our writing and communications. So it's just also valuable in many professions. So it's really a good learning opportunity as well, doing a research, right? And second, it's application of theoretical concept in a real life scenarios. So it gives us really a deeper understanding and it help us understand why techniques, why other techniques is successful while the other fails, right? So the third one is enhance of critical thinking and problem solving abilities. So for this, you can think of how can you improve this. So sometimes what we do is we really think out of the box, and even the funniest thing are the sometimes remember anyway. I'm gonna share it. So I remember, um, but we do sometimes brainstorming when we're in college. So kung ano bang research yung gagawin natin, no? So tapos minsan yung pinaka nakakatawang idea, that's the thing that we come up and we create that into, into a reality, I would say, diba, sometimes. So it really enhance also how we think in terms of when we do our research. And last one is preparing students for future career opportunities. So sa US kasi the Capstone project is sa US kasi normally they really use Capstone project even in high school, college, or in master's degree. So they use this Capstone project all the time so that when they apply for a job, the employer will look into it and see, oh, you did a Capstone project. So what did you learn about it? So we here in the Philippines, students, it's also a good opportunity for us, right? Because it really give us also an understanding about, oh, ito na pala yung nangyayari, no, sa isang organization, no? And it's also a good thing that we can make this bida-bida, no, with our to the employer. So like, hey, I did a capstone project and we make this strategic plan for this company and this is what we did. And it's also like a good really opportunity as well. And speaking of strategic, in the next slides, we'll also talk about an effective strategy, effective marketing strategy. So how to develop an effective marketing strategy. So let's go ahead and define what marketing strategy is. So marketing strategy, so alam nyo ba yung parang yung labanan sa negosyo, no? Hindi laging nasa product. It's not always the product. Bakit kamo? We always have the same product pero magkakaiba tayo ng sales. So the good example here is if you guys go to FB Live. So the FB Live is it's I can't think of any example. So sa FB Live, 'di ba? So kunyari nagbebenta sila ng jersey, ng jersey. Tapos ang binebenta nilang jersey tapos yung isang seller, parang yung marketing strategy niya is nakahubad siya, 'di ba? If you guys know that. So sa mga nakahubad sila just to sell their yung mga damit nila. Yung isa naman, nagpapa-cute lang siya para para mabenta niya din yung niya, yung mga jersey niya, 'di ba? So it's really not really about product anymore. It's about how you market your product, right? So now let's go ahead and talk about how can we make sure na we would have to have an effective marketing strategy, no? So the first one, start with the goal and objective. So that's the first one. So I'm going to read this one. So once you're clear about your business and its positioning, you can start thinking about what you want to achieve. Think about your main business goal, whether it's the size of your business, expansions, plans, or desired sales. Set smart goals to increase your chances of success in achieving them, right? So again, we all know that we always use this framework to set the smart goals. So as for specific, see, we want to know specifically what actions we're taking to reach our goal. Measurable, we want to be able to measure our actions so we make progress towards our goal. Achievable, so we want to be able to achieve within a certain of time or a month or a day. So it's relevant, so we want to choose our goal that's actually relate to what we want to do, something that we're passionate about. T is the time bound, so we want to create and what do you call that, ETA or urgency, if there is really an urgency with your goal. Then because if we don't really have a time bound or we don't really have a time, we'll never get around to actually doing them, right? For example, so gym. So sa gabi, punta ka tayo sa gym, no? So if you don't really have a smart goals, if you just want to go there and gym ka lang ng gym, but you don't really have an actions, what do you want to accomplish in there, right? So you don't go there just to get a healthy life, maybe, but you should always have smart goals to make sure. Let's say you want abs, then definitely there should be a time bound to it, right? For example, another example, lumalayo na ako, no? So another example is the increased profits, di ba? So sa increased profit, so you have to make sure paano ba natin may increase yung profit ng isang company. So to make sure, we have to make sure that you're using the smart goal. So the goal is to really increase the profit by the end of the year, amounting, maybe 1,000 pesos, right? So, but how can you measure that? So you make sure that yeah, how can you measure that? So again, it's up to you. How do you want to measure your success in terms of increasing your profits? And other example of that is, I think someone posted it before in the chat. It's about improving customer complaint. So how do you want to improve the response time to a customer complaint, right? So maybe there's a lack of people or employee. That's why the response time, the way that we respond to the client complaint, couple of days before we respond to it. So we want to be able to measure it, right? So for example, I want to bring at least there's 5 only people. So what you want to measure it, you should bring the total of number at the end of the year by 8 employees already, right? So in terms of this goals and objectives, so we want to make it sure that we always using our SMART goals. All right, so another example, so for SMART and goals, I know you guys are familiar with it. I'm just really exaggerating it. Um, Marketing plan. So you guys will create a marketing plan for a business within a month, right? So you don't just say that, hey, create a marketing plan for within the month. So that's your goal, but what's really want to achieve within that month, right? So for example, you measure you want to measure like each of the month. You guys want to finalize 25% of the plan details to ensure that the completion of the month it's okay. So diba 25, 25, 25. So because the goal is just 1 month, make sure that you guys already have a marketing plan, right? So achievable. 1 month should be like kind of like a plenty of time to do all the market research and the company analysis. So it's really achievable, right? In terms of that and like relevant. So it's totally relevant because without really a solid marketing plan, the company is really missing the crucial components of success. So yeah, so that's why we start on starting goals and in terms of developing a marketing strategy. Okay, so the next one would be do your marketing analysis. So marketing analysis is important because it gives you the ability to uncover opportunities within the market, to know what your customer think of your product, improve your communication and messaging platform with your customer. So I'm gonna go ahead so let's go ahead and define what the marketing analysis is. So how do I define it? I forgot it too. The marketing analysis, it's siya yung parang pagsusuri no ng financial instrument para malaman ang magiging takbo nito. So dito rin binabase ng mga investors or a trader yung decision nila kung bibili ba sila or magbebenta sila ng shares. And marketing analysis as well can be really complicated and really time consuming, I would say. Um, let's have a breakdown of how can we really make it easy because I did watch this video in YouTube and they say that there is really an easy way to break down the marketing analysis. The first thing is all we have to do is to collect all the data. If you don't really have an understanding about what you're looking for, we could just end up with a ton of collecting the information and we won't probably get anywhere. So what we could do is to frame up the analysis. So ano ba yung anong gusto mong malaman? So halimbawa, tanong mo it's what's happening in this industry ba, no? So for example, yung industry mo, it's oil industry, no? Sino ba yung mga competitors? And why are they winning, no? So once you know what you are trying to find out, so this is the questions that will get you started. So now that you have these questions, you can go ahead and grab the data, you know, and what's happening with our marketing? Why are we not performing? So we are not maybe with the sales, maybe we're losing something. So in terms of marketing analysis, before you analyze things, make sure that you do have questions for yourself. What am I trying to find out? So maybe I'm trying to find out about our sales, why we're losing our sales, right? You can't really just jump into other, data that I'm gonna find out to our marketing. Maybe we're losing sales, maybe because of, our marketing is too expensive, those kind of things. So make sure that when you do your marketing analysis, make sure that we all come up first with the questions, what data we're trying to collect. So the next one here would be know your customer. So we all familiar with it. So your customer should be the heart of everything you do when you're in the planning stages. So when you create marketing strategy, you need to anticipate what their needs are and how can they meet them more effectively than your competitors. So highly valuable one, right? Know your customer. And really the aim of marketing is to know and understand um the customer, right? So there's this one researcher said, how do we really know? Do we really know our customer? So based on a long research and everything, they just come up with one item that would really know our customer, and that is listening. So we gotta listen to them to make sure what they really want. So that's one thing that we always want to talk about. So if you guys an example of it, like in the contact center, did I use contact center or call center? Sorry, in call center. So one of the things to know your customer is make sure that you listen to them, what they really want, why are they calling, no? So it's about you listening to them so that you would be able to know what they really want. So know your customer. So the part one would be know your product and resources. So I think Sir Abandi talked about this the last time. So know your product and resources. So whether you have an established product, service, or you're in a development stage, you need to have an understanding of what you will be offering for the customer. So your goal here is to understand your positioned in the market industry. So knowing your product sounds, how do I explain this? Give me 1 second. So have a sound understanding and a knowledge. So sometimes know your product and resources isn't always the case, if you guys agree with me, right? So let's go ahead and consider, or we might consider happen if we don't know the product and the service. So imagine, where am I going? So imagine that I want to buy TB. So imagine that I have been saving for the 65 inches TB, no, for a month. And I prepared a budget for 45K pesos. And I went to Robinson um to buy one, right? And so the salesperson, let's say Mr. Guzman, right? The salesperson for the day, and yeah, so he's ready to help me out to find a perfect TV for me. And after I explain what I want is a 65 inches TV with a good clarity within the 45K, which is my budget. And Mr. Guzman showed me two options. So one TB, it's all about spoken requirements that I need. So the second TB, it's a bit smaller. Inside it's also a better quality, right? So Mr. Guzman said, so first thing I said is, so when Mr. Guzman said, bakit mas maganda yung TB number 2? So I was curious and I asked that question, and Mr. Guzman said, because it's clearer, because it's better TB, and I recommend you to get this, right? So it seems like the Mr. Guzman doesn't know about the product, right? And me as the customer, I am no longer interested with that product, and that lead me to, leave the store and never return to it. Maybe I'm probably gonna buy it somewhere else, right? So, and again, that moral story of that example is that we gotta know our product, right? So yeah, that's why it's really important to, because if you know the product, it would definitely improve your sales, and that would also help support your customer what they want. So it's really important that we also know our product. And another example of that, when we go sa ano no, sa mall, tapos sa mga home credit sa taas ng SM, 'di ba sobrang daming nagbebenta doon. Tapos what I like about them is they know exactly what they're selling, 'di ba? So, sir, maganda po 'to, marami pong gigabyte and so on and so forth, 'di ba? So, it's a good thing that they know the product, because, not only helps the company, it also helps the agent. So, makakapagbenta siya, tapos may incentive siya, and so on and so forth, 'di ba? And there is actually the four P's, the basic four P's of marketing, which is we already know it's a product, price, promotions, and play. So product, what are you selling? So it could be a goods, or it could be services. And price, how much do you charge? How much is the impact of that charge to your customer? How do you build your brand? And place, how do you promote the product? So, and also promotion is how do your customer find out about you? What strategies do you use to make effective of your promotions? All right, cool. So the fifth one would be outline your marketing strategy. So once you have set some goals, consider what marketing activities, process, or price will help you to achieve them. Try and choose marketing activities that suits your business and your customer. For example, if you are if you want to target young adults, newspaper advertising may not be as effective as social media campaign. So marketing strategies, one of the example that we have right now. So sa mga blogger ngayon, no? So sa mga blogger ngayon, what they do is they create really a shortest and the most powerful video na kaya nilang ilabas, 'di ba? So yung very short, tapos you're kind of like interesting talaga to watch until the end, because kasi yung sa short video nila nasa end pala ng video. So mga gano'ng strategy na kina-cut nila yung video, tapos um catchy yung titles, no? Catching titles ng blog nila. So that's also a way of how you would outline your marketing strategies. And the next one here would be set your marketing budget. So hindi no, gastos lang ng gastos sa marketing. So hindi naman pwedeng bili lang ng ganito or advertise lang ng ganito pero hindi naman pala siya effective, no? We have to make sure that we provide really a clear directions of your marketing effort so that hindi rin siya really nasasayang. So a marketing budget will also ensure you accurately calculate your marketing campaign and advertising. And the last one here is keep your marketing plan up to date. So it's analyzing your results and being aware of new marketing trends. And it's important to keep your marketing plan up to date and reaching your business goals. So it really helps us what's successful or what not. So we got to make sure that we plan to review also our marketing plan, and at least once per year, diba, in company, they make sure that they at least check their marketing or review their marketing plan or objective to make sure that still fits fit the company needs. Yep, so I think that's it. So those are the things that we need to use to develop an effective marketing strategy. So do you guys have any questions for me before we proceed? All right, I'll go ahead and take that. I'll take that as a no. So I'm gonna hand it over to Mr. Guzman to proceed with the next presentations for our Capstone project. Do you want me to continue sharing the screen, or Mr. Guzman, or do you want to take care of sharing your own screen?
Hello, good morning. Kahit ako na lang siguro, Sir Jomar.
Okay, cool.
Ayan. Um, Good morning po ulit. Guzman. I'm the partner of Sir Jomari po. And we've been assigned to discuss po yung module 10, which is yung huli. So medyo na gulat kami kasi akala namin kami yung dulo. So ayun nga, gaya ng sinabi ni Sir kanina na medyo kailangan pala siya. So, kailangan pala natin siya munang malaman kung ano yung module 10 para as we go to the module na binigay ni Sir, mas may knowledge tayo in creating a capstone project. So, the last two subtopics ko is yung presentation of capstone project, tsaka yung peer evaluation and feedback. So, mag-start muna ako sa capstone project. So, for reference lang sa lahat, gaya nung sinabi ni Sir Joe Marie kanina, yung difference ni capstone tsaka ni thesis, although parehas, sorry, although parehas po silang research, ang big difference nila or yung main difference nila is si capstone project, ina-apply na niya yung mga existing knowledge to a real life problem. Pwede natin siyang magamit sa work, pwede natin siyang magamit sa sales natin, pwede siyang magamit sa negosyo natin. Kasi nga, yung knowledge na i-apply natin is knowledge na talaga siya. Kumbaga, may research na behind that. Tapos i-apply na lang natin siya dun sa, kumbaga, ayun yung gagamitin natin treatment dun sa problem. Kasi nga, may knowledge na. Doon naman sa thesis naman, di ba ang basis kasi sa thesis natin before, kailangan natin mag-come up na bagong hypothesis. Kailangan natin mag-come up ng bagong idea. Doon tayo magto-thorough research kung paano natin siya, kung paano siya magiging, kung paano siya magiging, kung paano siya magagamit, pero hindi siya technically ginagamit. Kumbaga, dapat muna, maging ideal muna yung idea na yun bago siya i-apply. So si Capstone kasi, yung knowledge na i-apply natin is nandun na yung idea na yun. Kumbaga, established na. Si thesis hindi pa. So, yun lang. Para lang hindi maguluhan sa lahat kung ano yung difference ni capstone tsaka ni thesis. So, si capstone kasi, for me, ano siya eh, nangyayari siya sa atin on our daily basis, especially sa work. For example, sa mga sales natin, di ba? Pwede kasing one of your capstone project, paano ka makakapagbenta ng paano mo may offer yung isang product mo or yung isang kailangan mong i-offer dun sa tao na yon. So, yun. So, yan siya. Yeah. So, presentation of capstone project. Presentation of capstone project. Ano lang naman siya, kung paano lang natin siya mai-deliver na maayos, kung paano natin siya for me kasi, pag i-present mo yung capstone project mo, dapat maayos siya. So, for me, yung maayos, meaning informative siya, hindi boring. Tapos, syempre, may encourage mo yung mga audience mo or yung representan mo na, okay, so ganun pala siya. Hindi siya yung parang if mo lang for the sake of presentation. So, syempre, yung presentation mo, it's either you have this goal na mahikayat mo siya na, parang makukuha mo yung loob niya, makukuha mo na, oh, ganun pala, ganyan pala. So, yun. So, may mga ways or guidelines to present a capstone project. So, next po. Right. So, meron tayong apat. So, una, practice and prepare. Pangalawa, create visible visuals. Pangatlo is know the presentation environment. At pang-apat naman is yung use good public speaking skills. So, sa una po muna tayo. Kung mapapansin nyo, dito sa slides ko, hindi ko na nilagay yung yung mga definition niya kasi nasa narrative report naman siya. So, i-explain ko na lang kung paano ko siya naintindihan and gumawa na lang ako ng way para mas mai-present ko ng mas maayos. So, yung tips and guidelines na i-present ko, kada isang part niya o kada isang tip, may mga sinasagot na WH questions. So sa practice and prepare, ang mga nasasagot niyang WH questions is yung who to present tsaka what to present. Sa who, kailangan nating malaman kung sino yung excuse me po. So sa who to present, kailangan nating malaman, siyempre, kung sino yung representa natin. It may be a series of researchers, or it may be boss lang natin, o it's sa prof lang natin, pwede siya maging sa undergrad, pwede siya dun sa sa work na natin, mga ganon. Ganun lang, sorry. So, dun po sa what to present, syempre, kailangan natin malaman kung ano yung i-present natin, syempre. So, duty natin siya kung paano natin siya i-represent. So, next po. Create visible visuals. So, dito ulit papasok yung what to present tsaka how to present. Sa what to present kasi, kung alam na natin yung i-present natin, syempre, ano naman yung mga ways para ma-present natin siya ng mas maayos. So, it may be product, or it may fall sa using a PowerPoint, or sa mga sales naman, kunyari, sa mga, hindi kunyari, for example, sa mga life insurances, kailangan mo makapagbigay ng graph sa kanila. Sa mga investment naman, kailangan mo makapag-provide ng illustrative graph na tumataas yung investment nila para may offer natin ng mas maayos. Sa how to present naman, dito kailangan din natin i-consider kung paano mo i-present yung presentation mo sa isang client or sa isang sa mga audience mo ng mas maayos. So next. So know the presentation environment. So where to dito mako-consider mo naman yung where to present tsaka when to present. Sa sorry. Sa when to present po, dito mo makikita yung timeline na maibibigay sa iyo kung kailan mo siya i-present na. So, syempre, 'di ba, meron namang timeline na 1 week lang kailangan mo siya i-present. Meron na kailangan 3 days lang kailangan mo na siya i-present. Meron naman matagal na pagpaplano bago mo siya i-present. Mga ganun lang. Tapos sa where to present naman, dito mako-consider kung saan mo siya i-present. It's either sa hall or sa mga sa mga conference room, or dun lang sa room kung saan nandun yung mga panels mo nung nasa undergrad tayo, ganun. So next naman po is yung use good public speaking skills. Dito, kapag alam mo na kasi yung i-present mo, kaya mo nang mahikayat yung mga audience mo na makinig sa'yo, na hindi na vague yung pag-present natin. So, kung sa kanila na project or research, may hikayat natin sila makinig. Hindi na sila magdadalawang isip na, bakit parang hindi niya, bakit parang hindi ganito, hindi niya. So, medyo maikli lang kasi yung sa akin. So, magbigay na lang ako ng magbigay na lang po ako ng so, hindi ko alam kung mako-consider bang Capstone project yung ginagawa namin sa company ngayon. So, nasa banking industry ako ngayon. So, pero ang type of work ko is nasa backroom. Kumbaga, kami yung nag-handle ng mga inside work. So technically, wala sa job din naman. So baka kasi makota ko. So hindi naman namin duty talaga na magbenta ng mga product ng bangko. Pero inihikayat kami magbenta ng product ng bangko. So paano kami magbenta? Nasa likod kami ng office, nasa back office kami. So isa sa mga parang isa sa mga duty, I mean, hindi naman duty. So, isa sa mga kailangan naming alamin before is paano kami makakapagbenta? Paano kami makakapagbenta kung nasa likod kami? So, ayun yung parang problem namin. So, as a employee na nag-handle, as a bank employee na nag-handle ng books ng bank na nasa likod ka, paano mo maiko-consider na o paano namin pala mai-o-offer yung mga product ng bank sa lobby. So, ayun yung parang naging marketing problem namin. Paano kami makakapag-market? Hindi naman siya report or hindi naman siya parang kailangan namin mag-present talaga ng malawak na research kung paano makakapag-present ng ganito. Ang nangyayari lang is every morning, kailangan namin magkwento. I mean, kailangan namin, parang tawag din huddle kasi yung term namin. So parang mag-huddle kami sa morning. Tapos, itatanong sa amin ng mga officers namin kung paano na yung gagawin namin para makapag-offer kami ng product ng bangko. So, ang ginawa namin doon, so may problem na kami na kung paano kayo makapag-offer. So, ang ginawa namin doon, pag may mga, sorry, meron kasing mga client sa bangko na nagtatagal sila kasi matagal yung transaction nila. Kumbaga, ang tawag doon parang inter-branch transactions. So, magta-transact sila sa amin, pero yung branch nila is sa malalayong lugar. So, pwede siya sa province or pwede siya sa around naman sa ibang area, ganun. Hindi kasi kayang aprubahan nung pinuntahan nilang bangko yung transaction nila unless may approval ng branch of account nila. So, isa yun sa mga nakita ko na, pwedeng offeran to ng ganito, pwedeng offeran to ng ganyan. Pwede naming siyang kausapin na kung baka gusto pa niya mag-invest sa ganito, mag-invest sa ganyan. Kasi nga, hindi naman yung pagpunta niya doon, hindi naman, sorry, hindi naman madalian. Kumbaga, merong turnaround time na mag-stay siya doon ng 15 to 20 minutes, ganito, ganyan. So, pwede siya. So, nung sinabi namin yun sa mga officers, ano nga siya, napapansin na nila na gano'n. Ang nangyayari, walang nag-initiate siguro na somehow i-entertain yung mga client na yun. Kasi, hindi naman kasi namin malalaman kung interested yung client unless magtanong sila or unless makausap namin sila ng personally. Kasi the way mo sila ma-interactan, doon mo malala. For me, personally, hindi ko kayang magbasa nung hindi ko kayang basahin yung tao lang, hindi ko siya nakakausap. So kapag nakausap ko siya, doon ko malalaman na ganito pala yung kailangan. Ganito pala yung mga ganito pala yung pwedeng may offer sa kanya. So, hindi ko sure kung mako-consider siya as capstone Pero I think for me, mga tips na to, yung mga tips na to, pwedeng mai-align. Kumbaga, inalign ko lang doon sa current na nangyari. So, yun nga. So, yung practice and prepare ulitin ko. So, i-align ko siya doon sa scenario yun. So, who to present, ang kino-consider namin who to present is yung mga interbench clients or yung mga walk-in clients. Tapos yung what to present, siyempre, kung ano yung pwede namin may offer sa mga current status nila. Tapos, create a visible visuals, kung ano yung mai-present namin or kung paano namin siya i-present. Siyempre, kapag alam mo na parang pwede mo i-offer yung ganito, pwede ka nang magbigay sa kanila ng parang flyers or ng graphs na, ma'am, pwede mag-invest sa ganito, ma'am, pwede mag-invest sa ganyan. So, yun. So, yung know the presentation environment naman, yung know the presentation environment, na sumasagot sa where to present at when to present. Siyempre, yung where, doon sa frame. Tapos doon sa when naman, kung tatagal. So, kung yung transaction ni client, timely na parang 15 to 20 maghihintayin. So, meron kang 15 to 20 na kailangan mong mahikayat sa client na makinig sa'yo para ma-offer mo yung pwede mong ma-offer sa kanya. Tapos, dito naman po sa so, yun yung and guidelines po. And next po. Yun. So, doon sa stay and stress free, dito naman hindi siya mostly I mean, hindi mostly. Hindi siya nangyayari yung scenario kapag sa mga short term lang na project. So, nangyayari siya kapag sa mga long term na. Siyempre, upon doing those mga tips and guidelines mo, ma-stress ka kasi. So, kasi hindi mo naman alam nga kung may represent mo siya ng mas maayo, ay sorry, na may represent mo siya ng maayos or ng informative, ganito ganyan. So, meron lang kaming na-research na do's and don'ts kapag mag-represent na tayo ng capstone project. So, sa do, start early and give yourself plenty of time to gather information. So, ito yung gathering data. Just like sinabi ni Sir before, kailangan mo mag-gather ng data talaga. Kailangan mo ng mahabang timeline para hindi ka maguhol sa dulo. So, kasi ang hirap kasing i-present nung i-present mo na hindi mo alam kung ano yung i-present mo or hindi mo alam kung bakit mo ba siya pine-present. So, syempre, parang ahead of time, kailangan mo na ng kailangan mo ng mahabang time para makapag-prepare ng maayos. So, ayun nga, doon sa don'ts, wait until the last minute to get started. Siyempre, kung sorry, kung a week na lang yung presentation mo tapos meron kang time na months pa dapat mai-prepare yun, asahan mo na hindi mo siya may present kang maayos kasi nga hindi ka nag-prepare ng mas matagal. So next. Next po is yung stick with an outline and present your ideas logically. Tapos sa don'ts naman is choose overdone topics. Sa do ulit, present your paper as professionally as possible. Tapos sa don'ts mo, forget to edit or proofread your writing. Dito naman, under yung pag magpapasa tayo ng research paper. Kumbaga dun sa narrative, dun sa report natin. May mga scenario kasi, even before, kwento ko na lang din, nung nasa college kami, hindi naman siya thesis, feasibility study yung tawag sa amin. Ang nangyari, dun sa isang group, parang hindi ko alam kung bumili ba sila ng topic o paano ba? Hindi ko alam kung paano nila binili yung topic eh. Parang existing na pala siyang study. Tapos binili nila, tapos sila yung nagtuloy. Tapos in-input nila yung pangalan nila. So hindi na nila ginalaw. Hindi na nila, kumbaga, kung ano yung study na yun, siya na yun. Hindi na nila inedit, hindi na nila binago yung pages. Ang ginawa lang nila, binago yung prof, binago yung year, ganito ganyan. Nakita ngayon nung panel. Ayun, hindi ko na alam yung nangyari. Pero ayun yung wag nating gagawin na kapag may existing na knowledge to, kailangan pa rin natin silang i-copyright or kailangan natin silang i-copy furnish na parang yung itong knowledge na to galing to sa ito. Itong knowledge na to galing to sa ito. So, next po. Yun. So, last po is yung peer evaluation and feedback. Sa peer evaluation and feedback naman, para siyang group assessment nyo as a as a hello. Ay, wala pala. Ayun, so sorry, continue po ako. So, dun sa peer evaluation and feedback naman po, wala. Dun sa peer evaluation and feedback, para lang hindi pa. So, group assessment siya ng mga researchers para malaman nyo kung ano pa yung pagkukulang nyo dun sa presentation na ginawa nyo. So, parang, siya, kumbaga, kayo, ang term, open forum ba yung term nun? May mas magandang term pero mag-usap-usap kayo tapos sasabihin nyo sa mga group as a research partners nyo na parang may kulang ka pa sa ganito. Para ka pang may kulang sa ganyan. So, ano siya eh, for me, ano siya eh, good siya. Good siyang way para ma-explain mo sa mga mga kasama mo na naglalak pa sila ng ganito, naglalak pa sila ng. Pero syempre, dapat maipa-receive mo sa kanila ng maayos. So, yung constructive criticism. Hindi mo sila i-criticize dahil nagkulang sila ng ganito. Kailangan mo mag-create ng statement siguro para mapa-realize sa kanila na pwede mo pang i-improve to. Pwede mo pang i-improve yung ganyan. So, meron lang ways dito. Ito yung benefits niya. So, yun, apply course, concepts, and skills to solving problems. Kasi nga, na-i-relay mo sa kanila ng mas maayos eh. Tapos, collaborate with others towards a common goal. So, kapag i-evaluate nyo na yung group nyo, mas magbaband pa yung goal nyo. I mean, mas magbaband pa kayo lalo kasi nga, mas naipaparating mo sa kanila yung mga pagkukulang nila. Next, yung examine diverse perspectives and ideas. Assume greater responsibility in the learning process. Apply objective criteria to judge the quality of a task or performance. Yun. So yun lang. So before we end, meron lang nilagay si Sir Jomari na quote dito na stop being afraid of what could go wrong and start being excited about what could go well. Tony Robbins. I think, sir, that's all po for my last two subtopics po. Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Guys, narinig niyo ba si sir?
Yes, thank you so much. Okay.
Ayun po. Apo. Sorry, sir.
Okay. So again, as our presenters mentioned, that we're going to actually your final requirements will be the case study or the Capstone project, which only focus on the strategic marketing plan, no? Because I don't want naman each and everyone to develop your own, no? Capstone project. It's hard because it's time consuming because we need to do interviews. Of course, we need to conduct, of course, a statistical Okay, so based on the given topic that our presenters discussed for today, now that this will be focused actually more on the Capstone project. No? So why do I need to put this chapter 10 into because there are some requirements that you need to submit, no? And if we were going to discuss this topic at the end, so it's too hard for you if you're not really guided, no, with the content of the strategic marketing plan. So a while ago, no, our presenter mentioned about the SMART, no, your proposal must be or your strategic marketing plan must in line with the SMART, no, objectives, no, that and somebody also able to use pastel, no, pastel, no, or in considering also the purpose, no, as what our presenter mentioned. No. So the Capstone project actually, no, and this is already discussed, no, on how do you be able to differentiate the two. Actually, I'm not feeling well, but then the Capstone project and presentation is in our subject matter. Could I open my okay? Is serve as a culminating experience with the marketing student or the masters in business administration. So the project, no, aims to foster the development of critical thinking, creativity, teamwork, and effective communication. That's why I will allow a group work for the marketing strategic plan, at least 2 to 3 members per group. So, which are all fundamental abilities necessary for achieving success in the marketing industry. A while ago, our presenter mentioned about the integrating knowledge and skills, because demonstrate the ability to apply concepts, principles and skills learned throughout the marketing plan or program to a real-world marketing challenge. So we need to conduct an in-depth analysis for a complex marketing issue. Okay, marketing issues, underlying identify underlying problems and develop strategic solutions. Now we need to have a strategic planning and decision making, market research and data analysis. We must also observe the innovation and creativity, because developing innovative and creative approaches to address marketing challenges and leveraging new ideas and technologies. We need to consider, of course, a collaboration and teamwork, presentation and communication skills, as what our last presenter mentioned, and the critical thinking and evaluation. But we must also observe some ethical considerations, time management, project planning, adaptability and flexibility, because adapt the marketing strategy to changing circumstances and market conditions, demonstrating the ability to pivot when necessary. And the continuous learning and improvement. So reflect on the Capstone project experience, identify lesson learned, and consider how the insights gains can be applied in the future marketing endeavors. So in the common Capstone project and presentations, the normal progression of the Capstone will be the project selection. So you as a student are often given the flexibility to choose a specific marketing topic or challenge for your Capstone project. And this could range from developing a comprehensive marketing strategy for an organization, addressing a specific marketing issues, or conducting an in-depth market analysis. Then afterwards, research and analysis. You as a student engage in thorough research and analysis to gather relevant data, market insights and industry trends that will inform their marketing strategy or solutions. A while ago, your classmate encoded about the trends. It's still important during the marketing analysis. Then afterwards, we may, I think, consider the strategy formulation. Based on the research conducted, you must develop a comprehensive marketing strategy that addresses the identified challenge. This could involve defining target markets, positioning, messaging, channel strategies, and tactics. Then afterwards, implementation plan. You must outline a detailed plan for implementing their proposed marketing strategy, including the timeliness, resource allocation, as first presenter mentioned, and the key performance indicator for measuring success. Then presentation, of course, preparation. After the group develop the marketing strategy and implementation plan, you must prepare a presentation that highlights your research strategy and proposed solution. When it comes to the delivery, you must present the Capstone projects to a panel of members, industry expert and peers. Presentation typically involve showcasing the research findings and rationale behind the strategy and how the proposed solutions address the identified challenge. During the Q&A, most commonly, like after the presentation, there is usually a question and answer session where panel and audience members can inquire about the project, strategy, and implementation plan. So feedback is provided to help you refine their ideas. Okay? So the undertaking of a Capstone project centered on a development of a comprehensive marketing plan holds significant work and serve as a pragmatic in day 4, no, affording students the opportunity to employ their understanding of advanced marketing principles within authentic context. So the objective of this project, as I mentioned, is to formulate a comprehensive and well thought out strategy to effectively tackle a particular marketing difficulty or capitalize on an opportunity for an organization's no product or service. And of course, a while ago, no, our presenter discussed that you need to have a project introduction, situation analysis, target market and customer analysis, positioning and branding must be considered because we need to outline how you will position the product or service in the market to differentiate it from competitors and create a strong brand and identity. No? So our first presenter actually give us an example of of course, sorry, I encountered problem with my internet connections. Can you hear me right now? Can you hear me now? Hello? Class, can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me, class?
Yes,
Hello?
sir, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you, thank you. So a while ago, no, our presenter mentioned about the proposed structure of a capstone project or strategic planning, no, strategic marketing plan, no, the project introduction, situational analysis, target market and customer analysis, positioning and branding, marketing objectives and goals, marketing mix strategies which cover the product, price, place, and promotion, the implementation plan, budget allocation, measurement and evaluation, risk assessment mitigation, ethical considerations, conclusion, and of course, presentation preparation and presentation delivery, reflection, and learning. I believe no, the successful completion of a capstone project focused on developing a comprehensive marketing plan necessitates a profound comprehension of fundamental marketing principles, the application of critical thinking skills, and utilization of creative thinking abilities. These opportunities actually enable students to showcase their proficiency in synthesizing information, formulating strategic judgment, and successfully conveying their ideas, which are all fundamental complete competencies for a prosperous marketing position. So uh, during the presentation process, no, there's one of the I'll just want to list down a comprehensive outline, no. Actually, our presenter also give us the idea on how we'll be able to present our capstone project. No, number one, of course, presentation preparation is important. Your visual aids, no, opening and introduction, problem statement and objectives, no, the research methodology, finding and analysis, recommendation and solution, implementation plan, justification of and rationale. What will be the benefits of an impact, no, and of course the reflection and learning. So the process of peer evaluation actually and feedback within an advanced marketing management capstone project entails the evaluation and constructive input offered by the panel who are concurrently engaged in the respective capstone project. Peer evaluation is an integral aspect of a project process as uh, it provides a multitude of viewpoints, no, insights, uh, and suggestions to augment the caliber and efficacy of every project. So the present discourse elucidates the mechanism of peer evaluations and feedback within the framework of your capstone project. No? Another thing, of course, is that the integration of a peer evaluation and feedback inside the advanced marketing management enhance the educational encounter, and facilitate the production of superior project outcomes by your colleagues. No? So the utilization of this approach foster the development of collaborative abilities, problem with connections, critical reasoning, effective communication aptitude, and more profound comprehensions of this subject matter. So I think that's it for chapter or module number 10.